What do you feel?
I see, I see a gold light that has some spots in it,
Okay.
and
Cold light with
it's
spots in it.
warm.
Okay. It feels
Yeah,
warm.
it's warm. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it feels warm. It feels very, very loving, and it's just like energy, just energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Mm-hmm.
there.
Okay.
Hmm.
And the
Yeah.
spots, what do you mean by spots?
Uh, Kind of like holes in the gold light.
Mm.
And I
Okay.
don't. I'm trying to holes in the gold light, almost like they are portals. They 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 seem to be like portals. They
Portals.
can go into different. Yeah, they can
Mm-hmm.
go to different places,
Yes.
and so you can just, depending on where you want to go, you can just pick a portal and just go. And the energy is so nice and warm, and it's just very loving, and it's moving. The the gold light is sort of undulating.
Mm-hmm.
It's not stagnant. It moves like it's alive, like it breathes.
Mm. Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So as you look at this light and you see the portals, do you feel an inclination to go through any of those portals?
Not at this time. I feel like I like being with the gold light. It feels because
Warm.
it's so comfortable to be with. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That it feels familiar. It feels loving. It feels kind. It feels compassionate. Uh, like it's almost like astral travel. Like you could just go into a portal and just go somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you feel like you're part of this gold light?
I feel like I am. I feel like this is familiar to me. Like this is not something that I'm separate from. It feels like I'm a part of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you don't feel
And that
like you
there are
have a
others.
body there.
No, there
Okay.
are others present as well. And together we make up the body of this gold light.
That's beautiful. Are you able
Mm.
to converse or have communication with
Yeah,
the others?
it's nonverbal. It's just telepathic. It's just
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Wonderful.
It's more like we feel each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Okay.
our senses are highly attuned with one another.
Wonderful. And are you able to feel how many others are there with you?
I'm feeling
Okay.
about five others. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and they come and go. Yeah, they come and go. They're not all we move around. We have things that we do.
Oh, tell me about
So
those things that you do. What do you do?
we go places, and wherever there is some light that is needed.
Hmm. And how do you get there, and how do you know where to go?
Um, you can just when you feel that there's something that needs help, you can just see yourself there, and you can just go there. You can just transport yourself there.
Okay, so you don't
You
use the
and you
portals that you saw?
no. Well, I mean, yes, we do use a portal, but it's so fast. You you just you just think it, and you just feel it. You just go, and you're just there
Mm-hmm. Okay.
through the portal.
Mm-hmm. And where do you exist? Where does this golden light exist? Is it a
It's
different universe or?
yeah, um it's just in the universe. It's not really it's not really a place. It's it's in the space. This exists. We exist in the space in between things. So
Mm,
we're so this is in the universe, but in the space between. So you don't see it. You don't. It's not a physical place,
mm-hmm.
but it's a certain dimension other than it's not here on earth. It's another dimension that you don't see, you but it exists. So in this other dimension, you just are, and there are others here,
Mm-hmm.
and we we go to do things that wherever there help is needed. It's sort of like we get the call to help shift the vibration in places. It's almost like when vibrations need to be raised.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
And how do you get the
it's like
call?
it's like healing. It's like healing work,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll go to different places in the universe.
I see. And
Yeah.
how do you get the call? Like who tells you that you're needed?
It's just unknowing. Uh, it's it's sort of like your attention is peaked, and you get this um like like you don't it's not a sound or anything like that, but it's kind of like a vibrational nudge,
Mm.
and you know that there's someplace you got to go, and you and it's effortless. It's effortless because you can just go there to through the portal. But you don't really. It doesn't look like you're going through a portal. You're just there.
Mm-hmm.
You just can like beam yourself from here to there.
Okay. And once you get there, how do you do your work? Do you have to, like, let's use Earth for example. If you're needed on Earth, do you have to incarnate as a human, or you're able to help?
No. Yeah. Like when we do come to Earth to help, we just show up and we are part of the unseen. So you can't see us, but we're there to help change the frequency for healing, to bring in healing for the planet,
Mm.
to bring in healing for Mother Earth.
Does Mother Earth
Yeah,
ever ask for help directly?
it's just areas, I should say, like kind of like pockets of areas where the vibration is needs sort of like some
Mm-hmm.
cleansing kind of work. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not it's hard to describe because it's all energy, and there's sort of like hot spots, I guess is a way to put it, kind of like hot spots
Mm-hmm.
that use can we can assist uh, in raising the vibration in a hot spot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And how are
Yeah.
you different to angels, for example, who kind of do the same thing?
Yeah. So we are we support the angels. The angels have their very clear, defined. Their uh, their what's how do we say? Uh, they have their roles, with the uh, divine intelligence. They have their roles,
Mm-hmm.
and so we are sort of like the hmm, we're the cleanup committee, sort of like we go and we clean areas. So we're not. So angels support humanity, whereas we support Mother Earth.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. And when you come to a place to clean it up, what do you do?
We sort of like suck out heaviness, suck out uh, the uh, heaviness uh, in these hot spots. We come through to do like cleanup work, like anything that's 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 becoming too heavy, too dense.
Mm-hmm.
We come through and kind of like vacuum, like vacuum cleaners, and suck
Mm.
out heaviness
I see.
and shift the vibration there. We bring in uh, the gold light. The gold light comes in and does some healing work.
Mm. Okay.
shift the frequency there.
Okay. So and then once you're done with that, then you go back to where you came from, or do you go to the next place?
Right. Yeah, depending on what's needed. We either go off onto the next place, or we just we go and we get recharged.
Mm-hmm.
We get recharged by returning to the source, returning to the source energy, the source light,
Mm-hmm.
and get recharged there. And then when we're called upon again, then we go, and we just we're it's nonstop. It's continuous work,
Mm-hmm.
but we enjoy it. We enjoy it. It's it's effortless.
That's
We
wonderful.
can't interfere um, with with humanity. We can't interfere with humanity.
Mm. Okay. But you're
But
allowed to, yeah.
we can move quickly, and we can be in a place, and we can shift um, the energy in a place.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay.
Basically, we basically we it's kind of like where there are dead zones. There are dead zones, and we can come in and suck out the dead zones are the hot spots, and we can suck them out, and we can replenish them.
What do you
Replenish
replenish
them
them with?
with the gold light.
With the gold light. Okay.
The gold, yeah, the gold
Mm-hmm.
light is the healing,
Mm-hmm.
light, the healing vibration. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but
And
we can't
where?
overdo it though.
Oh, okay.
We can't overdo it. Yeah, there's a balance. We have to maintain a balance. Otherwise, we could hurt the balance there. And so it's a delicate balance. So we do it to a point, and then we know when what we can't overdo it. We
Mm-hmm.
have to, and we know when is enough, when it's just right.
Okay. And these dead spots, are they specifically um, in certain areas of Earth, or it's really uh, everywhere?
Oh, it's everywhere, everywhere. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's everywhere. That's why we can only work in small amounts in areas, so as not to disturb uh, the balance.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Wow. Okay. And once you were done helping as the golden light, what else do you do?
Then I go back to source, and I recharge there, and so that we're part of the collective. Well, when we go to do the work, we're in smaller groups, but then we all return back to source, and there are many of us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Many of us, yes. But but when we go to do the work, we're in smaller groups here and there, and so there are groups all around, small groups all around that help at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And
But
once
then
you
when we go back,
mm-hmm.
to source, we recharge, we cleanse, we need to cleanse, because of all of the work that we do. We have to go back and cleanse and replenish and restore ourselves, and as a collective. And so yeah.
Okay. And once you go back to source and you clear yourself, have you ever considered or have you ever incarnated as something else?
Um, yeah, I have reincarnated many times in different forms, different 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 life forms here on Earth, and but mostly uh, in the unseen, mostly in the non-physical form. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I have had other life forms as humans in different timelines,
Mm-hmm. And what
and
was the
I've also been
purpose
a purpose
of those lifetimes?
was all was always to learn more, have a different experience, to experience what it is like to be here on Earth, to be on Earth, to have different experiences, to take information, to gather information,
Mm.
because
Okay.
we're the gatherers of information. And so there's many different life forms, both in the physical and the non-physical, all to gather information,
Mm.
and
Okay.
and to record it, and to take it back. Because that's what the whole that's what this is all about, is gathering information,
Mm.
gathering
Okay. And
knowledge.
mm-hmm. And where does that knowledge go back to?
It goes back to source, because source is always growing. Source is always growing. It never stops growing. It keeps evolving. It keeps there's so many experiences, new experiences to be had, and as you gather new experiences, you're adding more knowledge to the whole, and so life is constantly evolving, and life is constantly learning new things, having new experiences, and so um, it's our responsibility to gather as much information as we can and to take it back to source,
Mm-hmm.
to have more knowledge, more information.
Right. And
So yeah,
as you are here gathering knowledge, is there a possibility that you could get stuck here in any way?
uh, no, no, because of the portals. You can take off at any time,
Okay.
whenever Yeah, yeah. There's no getting stuck here.
Okay, so there's no possibility that darker energies could try to hold lighter energies from moving on
Right,
back to source.
exactly. There's Because they're of a lower frequency, a lower vibration, and they can't interfere with our higher vibrations. It's a different frequency altogether. So choose to they choose to inhabit, to be here, because they're very dense. And because they're dense, they choose to coexist here on Earth. But the light beings can come and go.
Okay, got it. So they always, when they're incarnating on Earth, their higher self is always a light being.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Could
Everyone's
a light being incarnate as a darker being? As one of those
a
dark
light being
beings?
could. Yes, they could, because if they're here to learn something, they're here to come and have an experience. They may show up as a light being and choose a dark path and choose to have that experience because they're learning.
Mm.
They're they're gathering information.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Okay.
they're having a different experience, one that they haven't had before, and so it's just all information. It's just all information.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so they choose, if they choose to come here and have those other experiences uh, and have that uh, and they choose to be more grounded here on Earth, they can choose to have that experience of being more dense, uh, less light-bodied, and that's totally fine. There's no good or bad about it. It just is.
Okay. All right.
You're just having a different experience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So would you say that it would have to be, they're always saying that there should be a balance between darkness and light. So would that apply to the incarnations that they are having, or it's not individual like that? It's more like universal, good and bad balance.
Uh, there's always a choice here on Earth. Earth is about choices because Earth is half in the light and half in the dark. So there's choices of what experiences one wants to have when they reincarnate here. So it's an individual choice. And so you can choose to change at any moment. You can choose to switch from light to dark and dark to light
Mm-hmm.
at any moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
But this is the experience here on Earth.
Okay. Are there any other planets that you go to, any other places in the universe that you go to help?
Yes, yes, we go wherever we're being called to go. And but some of those other places are not like, they're not like Earth. Earth is very dense. So the other places are more they're in different dimensions. So they're not as dense as Earth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I see. So is most of your work being done on Earth?
A lot of it seems like. Yeah. And sometimes just holding space, in space, holding space.
Mm-hmm.
Like creating the how do you say, sort of like the vacuum around Earth to, like how we go clean things up. There's like a vacuum around Earth so that when we do our cleansing work and we are, sucking out these hot spots or these dead zones, uh, it goes into the vacuum, and the vacuum surrounds Mother Earth. So we also maintain that vacuum.
Mm.
We,
Okay.
we maintain that vacuum so that uh, we can do the work, and so the vacuum is always it's like it's like a it's just like a layer around Earth that the hot spots get sucked up into. So we maintain that layer.
Mm. Okay, so even though it's a dead spot, you're able to pull in dead energy, or it probably has a frequency of its own, right? Even though you're calling it dead.
Yeah, yeah, hot spot. Like it's like a point. It's like a place. It's like it's it's kind of like something that's getting sucked into Mother Earth. So we 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 come to these points, these places, to, like, the best way I can describe it is to suck it out, and it goes into the vacuum. So we try to uh, keep things balanced as best we can without throwing things off, without causing harm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And this vacuum, once it's full of this energy that is unwanted, how do you clear it?
It it's a void, so it's gone. Once it's in the vacuum, it's a void, so it's gone. It's like it's removed. It no longer exists once it's in the void.
So
Once it's in that.
okay, so as humans, do we have the ability to do that as well? To send it to the void?
Yes.
To clean places
Yes, you do. Yes. Yes. Mhm. People just are not aware. They're just not
Mm-hmm.
aware.
Mm-hmm.
They're not using their gifts. They don't know that they have this
Mm-hmm.
ability.
Mm-hmm.
Humans have this. I mean, humans all come from the light,
Yes.
and so they just forget when they come here to Earth that they have this ability, because they all are. So many are operating in fear. So many are lost. So many are, and many don't even want to be on Earth, even though they're on Earth. They're like, "What am I doing here?" So
Right.
some of them are very unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
Some humans are very unhappy, so that's why they choose to leave. They can't handle it. It's it's so dense. It's the densest place in the whole universe.
Mm. Okay. So if we are going to have humans listening to this video, what would you tell them about this?
Tap into your divine soul self, your higher soul self. You have to strengthen that connection. Not see humans cut themselves off from themselves. They cut themselves off. And it's all through what they believe. And if they don't believe, then they then they then they will have a much harder time. It's all, humans are having such a difficult time because there's so much control. People don't know what to believe anymore. People don't believe, humans don't believe that they are powerful, that they have everything within them to navigate this life. And so they've cut themselves off from their connection
Mm-hmm.
to source. So they have to re-establish that connection to source. And I'm not talking about going to church or anything like that. I mean the source.
Right. The creator.
But the creator, people don't know that they even have that ability to do that. So it's they need ways in order to learn how to figure out how to connect back to source.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do. What would you say is the best way to connect to source?
Do this. This is one of the best ways to connect to source.
Mm-hmm.
Is to learn more about yourself, where you come from, who you are, how magnificent you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. But there are some that have some issues connecting when they do this type of work. So, to those that are not able to connect as easily, what would you tell them?
Drink lots of water. Drink lots of water. Change your diet. Eat more fruits and vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Get lighter. Get lighter in your being. Just think of light. What would light do? If you had more light in your life, what would light do?
Mm-hmm.
Light would make you feel light. So eat foods that are grown by light. Drink more water. Water contains light.
Yeah.
Clean water holds minerals, minerals that help you to hold more water. You need more water. People are too dense, and when they're too dense, they can't connect,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to do things to put more light into their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Just even the things that you listen to, the things that you watch. What are you watching? What are you listening to? Are these things, are they filled with light, or are they dense? Are they making you heavier? You have to think of light in different ways. Light is not just sunlight, but light is a belief, can be filled with light, or it can be filled with density. So you have to watch your beliefs. And just like how you clean your house, you have to clean your body, you have to clean your mind, you have to clean your thoughts. You have to cleanse on a regular basis. Just like you take out the trash, you have to empty your mind of trash. Make room for light.
That's right. Absolutely. Be the light,
Every
right?
cell in your body, Yes, every cell in your body holds light, but it also holds whatever you feed it. If you're going to feed it heaviness, then it's going to be so hard for you to make room for light, to have room for light. You need your cells, you need light. Because when you have light, then you have clarity. You can see more clearly. You can think more clearly. You can feel. You can feel your truth. There's nothing more valuable than to feel your truth.
Yes, for sure.
But what
S-
but when you're so dense, you cannot feel your truth. That's why people seek truth outside of themselves. Because they
yeah,
can't feel it.
that's
They
true.
can't feel it for themselves. They don't know what the answer is, so they seek answers outside. But they have it right within them. They
So
have the
if they don't believe that, then they're not going to see it, right?
right, right, exactly.
So they would have to
That's
believe it
because,
first.
yeah, and the way they do that is to first cleanse, cleanse your body. You have to cleanse your body,
Mm-hmm.
your home. This is your home. You have to cleanse it. Water and breath are important for cleansing your body. Breath is an incredible, it's an incredible, we, we, we underestimate the power of our breath, the breath.
That's very true.
And what did they do this year, this past year? They took our breath away.
Mm. Yeah, you're right.
And they did that so that they can dim, keep people dim. So we have to do the opposite. The people have to do the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
You have
Yeah.
to build, have to build your immunity, and you do that by drinking clean water, by doing breath exercises with your breath.
Mm-hmm.
And that cleanses your body, removes toxins. You remove toxins, you make room for light. When you make room for light, you gain clarity. When you gain clarity, you can see your truth. You can read through all of the distractions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a that's a very important message that that everybody needs to hear.
Yeah. Each cell, each cell is so, each cell in your body is so important. But they work, all the cells work together. And depending on what you feed the cells, that will determine whether you are vibrating very high or if you're very dense. It all depends what you're feeding the cells. And you feed your cells through your beliefs.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why clearing the trauma from those cells from childhood is so important.
Yeah. What do those cells from childhood need? They need love. They need to know that they are loved. And you can reverse it.
Yes,
You just have to go back there and clean those cells.
exactly. Exactly. And I believe they call it shadow work. You know, it's going back to those difficult
Mm,
times in our lives to heal and to help that human that was there at that time and
hmm.
guide them and help them through the difficult time in their lives.
Yeah, that's important work. So much trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And the average person doesn't have the tools to do it themselves.
Wow. Well, this has been very enlightening, and I am so very grateful for all the information you have given us. So, how does she best assist or teach people who are stuck in the third dimension?
It's harder for those, very, very challenging for those. It might take a long time for many of them to have an awareness, even a slight awareness, because their third eye is closed. And because their third eye is closed, well, the third eye is closed because of the food, the things that they're eating and they're drinking, uh, closing off their third eye. And once your third eye is closed, it's harder. It's harder to see. You cannot see. You're stuck, basically stuck in the in the third realm.
Hmm.
I mean, that's it's not that it's a a good or bad thing. It's just that there's not much change for those people.
Okay, so
With the,
well, she wanted to know how she could help them open up and release fear.
there are there are once once people can start to uh, drink more water, eat eat better, bring more light into their body, then they will begin to recognize when they are operating in fear. But until then, it's hard for them to recognize this. So it's going to be baby steps for
Okay.
a lot of people.
Yeah.
Some people are already ready. some people already get it. Some people are not so blind,
Mm-hmm.
and some people are not so distracted. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they use all the distractions in media to keep people in fear. And some people are not so distracted by all of that. And sometimes, just little by little, people begin to, it's like a bud, it's like a flower bud that is so, it's so new and it's so tight that it just needs the right conditions to help it to open up. And what does it need? It needs water and light and the right soil. And the soil is where this beautiful bud grew out of, but it needs the sunlight and it needs the water and the right soil, the right conditions for it to grow and to blossom and to open up to the light. But if the soil is toxic, it cannot. This bud will have a very difficult time opening up and blossoming. The soil has to be cleansed. Everything needs to be cleansed.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.